Hey there, Brian here. If it's Wednesday, it must be book review day.
Today we're going to review the prayer book offices printed by Church Publishing in 2020 for the Episcopal Church. Now, there's something quietly compelling about a prayer book that knows exactly what it's trying to be and doesn't try to be anything more. Prayer Book Offices, like I said, was published by Church Publishing in 2020, and it's one of those books, at least in intention. It doesn't pretend to replace the 1979 Book of Common Prayer. It gathers the daily office, morning prayer, noonday prayer, evening prayer, and Compline in a single volume, offering a streamlined way to engage the rhythm of prayer that shaped Anglican life for generations. Of those prayers, morning and evening are offered in Rite 1 and Rite 2. For those who may not be familiar with that, those are traditional and contemporary languages. And all that is a very good thing. But here's where intention and execution part ways. This is not a portable prayer book, not even close. At roughly 9 by 6 inches and nearly 2.5 inches thick, uh, it's uh, it's large, heavy, and frankly cumbersome. This is a desk book. It belongs on a lectern, a study table, or prayer desk, not in a bag, and not in a satchel, and certainly not something you will carry with you throughout the day. Certainly not something I'm going to take on a bike ride. And that matters more than we sometimes admit. The daily office is meant to be lived with, to move with you throughout your day. A book like this anchors you to a single place. For some, that may be fine, and there's a time and a place for that. For others, it quietly works against the very rhythm it seems to be trying to support. Then there's the physical experience of the book itself. The paper is rice paper thin with noticeable ink bleed through from the reverse side. The font is small, uncomfortably so at times, and the ink can even appear faint in places. So over time, this creates a reading experience that feels strained rather than prayerful. And prayer should never feel like eye fatigue. To say it plainly, the book's not comfortable to use. That's disappointing, especially coming from a church as large and historically rich as the Episcopal Church, not to mention moneyed. One cannot help but notice that smaller Anglican jurisdictions, often with far fewer resources, are producing prayer books that are not only theologically sound, but also physically beautiful, readable, and deeply usable. There's a lesson there. Now, that said, uh, there are some genuine strengths. The inclusion of 4 ribbons is not a small thing. It's a practical gift in a book structured around multiple offices, let me tell you. And perhaps most importantly, the volume lays perfectly flat. And that can't be said of all prayer books. For a desk-bound prayer book, uh, that is exactly what you want. It stays open, it stays put. It serves well in a fixed place of prayer. And that, I suspect, is where this book finds its proper home. Not a companion on the journey, but as a fixture in a dedicated space. A prayer desk, a study, a quiet corner where the day begins and ends. Will this be my daily driver? No. But will it have a place on my shelf? Yeah. Because even with its flaws, it still contains the office. It still holds the prayers. And if it helps someone return, even imperfectly, to the rhythm of daily prayer, then it really has served its purpose. But I can't help but feel that it could have been more. And perhaps in time, it will be. But only time will tell that story. Thanks for watching.